guys. This is the Kingdom Community, and our big purpose is to bring together the 12 tribes of Israel so we can live harmoniously together as we go from an online community to a on-land community. Okay? So, and links are on the page and in the description. All right, so let's get started. So what's required of us from the Lord, it's quite a number of things. We have a dietary law. We have a way we should treat each other, a code, of ethics. The scriptures, the Bible is a foundation and a guideline for how we can live our lives, a foundation for culture. And, the Lord has a standard that we should live up to. And, one of the standards is, like I mentioned before, is a dietary law. We ought to not eat pork. We shouldn't worship other gods. An example of that is Christianity. It's not our religion. It's like not a byproduct, but something that was extracted out of our book, the Bible, and that was created, for those people, who identify with, that God, same thing with Islam. It's the same thing. It's not our book. The Quran is not our book. Allah is not our God. Allah is a rock, is Mecca. You can go to Mecca and, I think they call it a pilgrimage to Mecca or something like that. And they all go, see that rock there, which is fine. That I'm not talking down on any of that. That's their culture. It's, Islam, that's their culture. If that's how they worship their God, then that's how they worship their God. Allah. And in Hebrew, Allah just means power. So you have to find out what power do you serve. They serve their power, and our power is the God of Israel. That's our power. That's who we call on to, try to, for power, for faith, or for assistance, or, guidance, or making it through certain situations in life. So the Lord has a set requirements, a certain standard of how we ought to live our lives and how we should treat each other as a people, and, that's nothing's wrong with the Lord having a standard. I think all people, individuals and collective, I think we should all have a standard on, how we live our lives, a code of ethics, because you need a framework for people to work in, to move in a certain way. Every nation's got their culture. The Norwegians, Norway, the Vikings, the Chinese, Confucius, the Japanese. I think there's Buddha. I'm not sure, but during the time of samurais, they had a warrior code, code of the samurai, way of the samurai, a warrior culture. And bringing us back together, we need a culture. We need a warrior culture. We definitely need that. We need a culture of collaboration. That is what's mainly needed in our community. Thug culture is kind of warrior culture. It's kind of similar a little bit. It has aspects of warrior culture. of being a warrior. And, but what's really needed in our community is a culture of collaboration before, we get into a high performance culture, or, other aspects of, of culture. First, we need the coming together part, the collaboration. We need to value teamwork, and how teamwork is what's really going to get us to, where we want to be, and self-governing ourselves, being on top of, our plot of land, and, border patrol, things like this, our own FDA, going through the food, see if it's lawful to us to eat, we need those type of things. We need to value teamwork before, to even get to that. Creating a economy for each other's, to circulating an economy, so we can, have our own wealth. We need these type of things. We need a culture that's going to be sustaining. It's going to be self-sustainable, where it'll sustain us through, many, different trials we go through as a nation, as a people. It's actually astonishing how we're able to do it now, on just, going through what we've been through, slavery, Jim Crow, all these programs, and, slavery, just being on, from slave culture, we were slaves. Then we upgraded our culture a little bit. Well, actually a whole lot in the 19s and 20s and 30s and stuff. We actually believed in family and, black businesses and stuff. But we took a downgrade. We accepted, Martin Luther King. He kind of messed up a lot of stuff for us. And, then thug and whore culture and feminism kind of destroyed the family even more. So we need something that's going to sustain us as a people. We've been doing good. I know it don't seem like that, but from where we started off, we've made some progress, and, we still here, we still moving, man. So, one of the problems is, especially nowadays, we're not that focused on surviving, and what I mean is the, planning ahead aspect. We're in a survival state as far as, brothers and sisters, living off of, your paycheck, bi-weekly, and, and that's all we have enough, money to invest in. We don't have, most people don't have enough money to invest in other than paying their bills, so we need to invest in each other and focus on a sustaining plan, something where we can see in the, plan ahead for the future. We won't survive if we can't come together, man. We're not going to survive as a people. It's not going to happen. I don't really see it, and I've never seen a people survive on not doing for each other. I've never seen that. I think this is, I think we're the only people that I know of who are people but have no land, don't even really know what to call ourselves. Thank God that we know that we're Israelites. We're finding this out from the past. I mean, we've always knew there's records of slaves who knew they were Israelites, but as far as a movement, it's continually growing. So, excuse me. The scriptures say we come together for the worst, and not for the best. Well, we need to turn that around. We need to start coming together to build a nation, focusing on surviving, on planning ahead, separating from, this kind of a hell that we're in right now. It's pretty bad, you know. So it's best that we focus on these future, aspects or whatever, the future um, things that we're gonna have to look out for, because let me tell you, there's a dark future ahead. There's a real dark future ahead, and in this system, it's as I've stated plenty of times. I mean, we've got Jim Crow, Willie Lynch, all these programs that really inhibit us from moving forward. It's a lot of programs. This system we're really in, it's not working for us. In the future that's these people are planning, the World Economic Forum said, I think it's a World Economic Trade Forum or World Economic Forum, something like that. And what they say is you'll own nothing and you'll be happy, and that doesn't sound like happiness. It really don't. Not owning anything, not having anything in your name. That's like the only thing I can see. You're almost like a nomad, kind of. You don't own anything. You just move from place to place. You're rolling stone. You're not set anywhere. And that's not the most healthy lifestyle you can live. It's better to have a place where you can call home. And then, when it comes to food and agriculture, you grow your cattle, and you breed your cattle, and you grow your food on that land, and and work the land, because it's your land. You own it. It's your home. So in this system, they as I stated before, what the World Economic Trade Forum said, and it's horrible, man. And if this is what these people want, this new world order, from my perspective, it really looks like worldwide slavery. That's what it looks like to me. So we're gonna have to come together if we're gonna want to separate from this system. I was about to say beat it, but you don't want to try to do battle with this kind of system. It's almost like you're damned if you do, because I don't see how you could beat this system. The only way I could see how you could beat it is if you just separate from it and you just focus on you and yours, your family, your people, your nation, and y'all just put into each other. That's the only way I could see you, kind of beating it, because really it looks like it's about to beat itself. America looks like it's falling. The, the Great Reset is coming. The dollar might not be worth anything. We'll have to see how it plays out. As that dollar falls, we can create our own dollar. We can, build us a tribal government, a nation, and circulate a gold standard. We don't have to create a fiat currency that it will fail, because fiat currency isn't backed by anything. It's just printable money. Best to have the gold standard and it be backed by something. And that helps circulate an economy, circulate wealth within our nation as a people. We have what's it called, a $1.3 trillion in purchasing power. If we would give that all circulate all that money back to us and keep it within us, because right now the black dollar only circulates one time, which means it's in your hand and it's right back out your hand. So we can do this. We can create another Black Wall Street, and build a national wealth. But it's going to take some time. We need to understand each other. Us coming together, we need to understand who we really are. We're just now really understanding who we are as a people. Well, you could say, well, the truth been around for a long time. Been around for, slave, like we said, slaves had that knowledge that we were Israelites, but they weren't really able to fully apply it, because the scriptures say, come together, build homes. If you're a slave, it's not within your power to do that. But now that we have, now that, the shackles ain't physically on us, they're more so mentally, we can break out of this psychological barrier and build ourselves homes and create a whole economy, a ecosystem for us to live in harmoniously, create a culture of harmony where we understand each other. And, this self-hate thing can finally disappear. It's because it's not helping us. The stuff from America, whether it be culture or, it's just not helping us. The programs, most of it isn't. Most of it that's in place is not for your benefit. It's just not. So we need to create a culture where we live in harmony and where we care for one another. Like the scriptures say, one of the greatest commandments is to love one another. And what that really means is just invest in each other. Do for each other. Do for your brother. It's not a sin to do good on the Sabbath. Do good for each other. You want that will, man, the will to survive in a sense, because that's what it is, man. Loving one another is like the will to survive as a people. Because if we're not investing in each other, then you're investing in another nation. You're investing in other people who really don't have your best interests. So we need to create this culture of collaboration, a culture where we live in harmony, where we understand each other, this will, this spirit, this Holy Spirit that we can cultivate. And you either plan now or you fail later. You make your plans now to where we can, as a people and individually, set yourself up for success. It's really what's needed right now, because I don't, especially how they're saying by 2030, there's not going to be, I was reading some article where it said by 2030, we're not going to have Social Security. And from, my generation, that's horrible, man. In 20 years, I ain't going to be able to retire unless I have, some kind of, either a community where it's self-sustainable, or you're just going to have to work till you die, or work to where you've stacked enough bread and, you can live, comfortably for a while until somebody, one of your, sons or daughters or, family member has to step in and take care of you. So we have to plan now, because if you don't plan, there's other people who have a plan for you. And that plan isn't going to be to your benefit at all. Just look at us in America. Look how it is right now in America. You know, if you don't make that plan for yourself, then another people gonna come around and make sure that they plan for your failure and plan for their success. It's dog eat dog. But that's all right. I believe we can survive. I believe we really will survive this, this state that our people are in right now. This is really a state of hell, as we, transition to a better culture, a more sustainable way of life. Okay. So, you guys, I hope you like this speech, this small class. And, I hope you like what I brought out. And again, this is the Kingdom Community. Our big purpose is, of course, to bring together 12 tribes of Israel so we can learn the art of community and create a harmonious, sustainable way of life for each other as we go from an online community to a on-land community. So links are in the page, YouTube page, and in the description. Like, share, and subscribe, and you guys have a good day. Shalom.